Welcome to the Handmade Homestead. My name is Angela Allen, and together with my husband Mike, we micro homestead on 1/3 of an acre in an urban setting. I want to talk to you a little bit about sourdough bread. I know I'm not the only person that feels like there's a lot of gatekeeping that goes on when you're learning to make sourdough bread. There's a lot of videos that talk about exact measurements and timing and stretch and folds, and it's not that hard, people. It's not. It's actually really easy. Now, I've been making sourdough bread for a number of years. My starter is probably 10 years old at least. And there's no gatekeeping in this video. This is how I make it every day. All right, so these are my ingredients. Water, I use 1 cup, really hot water. I use it straight from my kitchen faucet, and yes, it is chlorinated. A little bit of salt, a little bit of honey, a kind of fat. You can use butter. This time I'm going to use avocado oil. Sometimes I use coconut. Sometimes I use olive oil. It all depends on the flavor I'm looking for. Bread machine. The bread machine does the kneading, and it does its fermenting, that first ferment right in the bread machine. My bread machine has a setting for dough, so that's the setting I use. As soon as it turns off, I just let it sit until later tonight when I'll take it out and shape it, then put it in the fridge, and then bake it off tomorrow. So this is how I make it. No joke. You'll see there's no scale. There's no tablespoons. There's not a lot of measuring cups. I do use a measuring cup in my flour bin because it's a big bin, but even that, I'm not weighing it. I'm not skimming it off. I don't really care about that stuff. Okay, I'm going to change the camera angle so you can see, and let's go. First up, water. Hot water. I have very hot water here. It's kind of crazy, but I do. And I do put it in hot because by the time the ingredients get in the pan, it's going to cool off enough to be safe. It's hot. It's not steaming, but it's hot. I don't know if you can see that. If I tip it, it's going to look like more, but it's about a cup of water. It's pretty close. You see that? This is my sourdough starter. I did feed it last night, around 10 o'clock. It's 10:30 in the morning now, so 12 hours. It's not super thick, not super thin. I'm going to pour, I don't know, somewhere around a cup in here. That looks pretty good. It doesn't look very active, though. I did feed it last night, I promise. It's kind of hard to tell if you look in there. It smells really good, though. Sourdough starter. Now I need sugar. Sometimes I'll use a little bit of sugar if I don't have any honey handy, but do you see a measuring cup? No. Honey. Now comes flour. These big bins, I have 2, whole wheat at the bottom. This is not bread flour, it's all-purpose flour. I don't know why when I tried to order bread flour I ended up with all-purpose, but it doesn't really matter. So I do measure this approximately a cup. You can see, I just shake it out. But I'm not packing it in. I'm not worrying about it too much. Okay, there's 2. There's going to be 3. I'm going to turn you back around. So you can see I'm actually putting it in there. 1 more. And you can see it's not exactly. It's a little over, a little under. It's fine. In it goes. Flour. Salt. That much? Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Don't care, it doesn't really matter. Again, doesn't really matter. All right, I'm gonna move you so you can see the bread machine. Okay, hopefully that picture is straight. This is just a standard bread machine. I do go through a couple of bread machines a year because I do make bread or some kind of bread product pretty much every single day, all year long. So I do go through them. This is a nice one, I like this. I do like pans that sit with the bread at the top, not the tube shape, but the bread shape that has like a normal crust. That's just my preference, but it does not matter. Any bread machine that you have that has a dough cycle, or a ferment cycle would work. So here's my bread machine. Hopefully it's clean enough for a camera. And here's all the ingredients you just saw me put in here. Water, honey, flour, salt, and sourdough starter. About a cup of sourdough starter, 3 cups of flour, a squirt of honey, maybe about a couple of tablespoons, 3 tablespoons maybe, but I don't know. You want more, put more. You want less, put less. Maybe a couple teaspoons of salt. Yeah, that's it. We are going to add oil though. So we are going to put this on the dough cycle, which for me would be 8. And then once I start it, I am going to put oil in, maybe 3 tablespoons. I don't know. I don't measure it. I just pour. I'll show you that. And we're going to let it go. It will do all of the kneading. It will do a little bit of a rise, and it will knead it again for 10 minutes. And then I'm just going to leave it in here with the lid down to keep the moisture in so it doesn't get dry. And I'm going to leave it in here till about, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whenever I feel like it, after supper, before I go to bed. I don't want to go till 10 o'clock at night. It will overproof because it's very warm here. It's about 80 outside, and so close to that in the house. I have every window open, so I'm not going to let it go too long. I'm going to probably around 5 in the winter time, maybe around 7 or 8. I will take this out, put it on the counter, knead it, shape it, put it in my banneton, cover it up, put it in the fridge for the night, and I'll come back later and show you that part too. But in the meantime, let's just get the dough going. And I'm going to just pour some oil in here. This is just straight up avocado oil, obviously, right from the bottle. I do like it best with butter, but I didn't feel like melting that. And I wanted to show you that it's just easy to do like this. The more fat you add, the longer it takes for it to ferment and rise. But I don't really care about that. I have plenty of time. The oil makes it softer. I like that. So this gets closed, and now I ignore it until maybe 5 o'clock tonight or 6 or 7, whenever I feel like coming back and shaping it to putting in the fridge for its next ferment. Otherwise, I'm done. No kneading, no stretching full, no checking on it, no worries, no nothing. It's perfectly fine. And that was all-purpose flour. I think I started to tell you. I was buying bread flour on Amazon. My regular company didn't have it, so I was buying the Amazon brand. Excuse me, allergies. And for some reason they sent me all-purpose and not bread flour, but I do fine with all-purpose bread flour. Doesn't matter. It all works the same. Several hours later, it's ready to be shaped and put into the fridge for its bulk ferment. Just as a quick side note, people ask me all the time where I get my kitchen towels. These are things that I make as a weaver. You can find them in my Etsy shop, and my link is in the bio. All right, let's get that dough shaped. So I'm going to flour the towel that it's going to be sitting in the banneton, just to make sure that I can get it out easily the next day after sitting in the fridge all night. Banneton's ready. Just need to get the surface of the counter floured a little bit and get the dough out of the bread machine. I'm going to do some stretching and folding just a little bit here so I can get it into a ball. And then I'll do some tensioning right on the work surface. And then into the banneton it goes. And it gets wrapped up and put in the refrigerator overnight. I do think this kind of rolling is important to add some surface tension. You get a smoother look to the dough when it comes out the next day, and then when you cut it to bake it, it just looks a lot nicer. And it goes face down. A little more flour just so it won't stick to the towel as it bulk ferments in the fridge. It will grow even though it'll be slowly. Just as a note here, I cover my banneton with, believe it or not, they're plastic shower caps. I do one on the top, one on the bottom, and sometimes one on the top again. Just keeps the moisture in as opposed to using a plastic bag. And I do reuse these several times. I can just turn them inside out and wash them. And they're economical too, I think. And they never touch the food, so I feel comfortable with that. There we go. This is the next morning. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to go through the usual baking process. I always use unbleached parchment paper, but they're all impregnated with a little bit of silicone, I think, just so you know. I always turn it out gently, and I always peel off the towel gently, just in case I don't want to rip the dough. And I do use a lame to score it, but you can use a kitchen knife, anything you have. I like to score it pretty deeply. At this point, my pan has been heating up in a 450-degree oven for probably about an hour. I apologize for my dirty oven. It's definitely time to clean it. Now, I put ice cubes in. I put 2-3 ice cubes around the edges, and then I put the lid on so it gives it extra moisture, so I get a lot of oven spring. And then I take it out. I bake it for 23 minutes. Take the lid off, bake it for another 15 or 20, and there we go, we're done. So, what's my point with all this? Am I trying to tell you to not follow a recipe? Nope, I'm not trying to tell you that. Am I trying to tell you to not follow other content creators and not watch the videos about sourdough and learn everything you can learn? Nope, I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is, don't be nervous about it. You'll make mistakes. It won't be perfect every time. You'll learn. You'll get the feel for the dough. Pretty soon you'll be able to just make it. You won't have to worry about being off a little bit in your measurements or trying a different ingredient or trying a different flavor. One of my favorite ways to make sourdough is with coffee and chocolate. I make this nice big dark chocolate loaf. I'll try to insert a picture here. If I can find one so you can see. Just try. It's not easy to learn something new if you're nervous, but it's really not as hard when it comes to sourdough as some people would make it seem on YouTube videos. Follow some recipes, watch a bunch of videos, learn what you can, but in the end, just try your own thing. See what you think. If you have any questions, comments, put them right down below, and I'll see you soon. The Handmade Homestead can be found on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and we look forward to seeing you there. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps so much, and we appreciate your time. Come bloom with us.